Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Casual Revolt. I am here again with my dad, and we're both teachers. Here's my dad. He says hello. Uh, Today, we are going to watch the more of that Jubilee video that has caused all sorts of controversy, by the way. Some people are trying to get Jubilee removed, I think, from YouTube or something like that, because of them platforming these people, like that fascist guy we saw last time. We reacted to last time, and I believe he actually lost his job
Yes, he
because,
did.
which, oh, tears. Anyway, so we're gonna start reacting to this. The first question or topic I believe they're debating is Donald Trump pro-crime and pro-criminal? So we're joined here by Mehdi Hassan, who again is a great debater, founder of Zateo, just a really intelligent guy. So we'll see how he deals with these folks. God help us all.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm
Thanks.
Mehdi.
I would just like to ask, what makes someone pro-crime versus, anti-crime?
I think when you're soft on criminals, when you let criminals out of prison, when you pardon people who've assaulted police officers, you're pro-criminal. Donald Trump pardoned almost 1,600 people who were involved in January the 6th. I think 600 of them had been charged.
By the way, they didn't even parse out who they were pardoning. They did it as a group. So they pardoned,
A blanket.
yeah, just a blanket pardon. They didn't even go through and see what each person had been charged with or anything or what they had done, including assaulting police officers. So yeah, blanket pardon of everyone, even those that had literally on camera beaten police officers with, an American flag, tried to tear off their face masks and things like that. So just as a note there.
With assaulting a police officer or obstructing a police officer. 170 had pled guilty to assaulting a police officer. 70 had pled guilty to assault with a deadly weapon. J.D. Vance said, we're not going to pardon the violent criminals from January 6th. Donald Trump pardoned all of them. Are you okay with that?
I would say January 6th is a very special case. I would say it's almost a climax point in history. I would just phrase the question this way.
Yes.
I can think of other climaxes in history. This young man needs to discover what the definition of climax is, because obviously he doesn't know what a climax is.
That's probably accurate. And to add on that, what the hell is he talking about? What does that even mean? It's a climax point in history. What is that?
Well, there's one thing when you write a book, you hit the climax, and then from there it kind of starts slowly going down. So is he saying a climax was this in our history? And now we're on the way down the US? If he's saying that, yeah, I agree.
That's actually a really good point. I also just want to add one other thing to this. I'm on the fence about the framing of this because I don't think Donald Trump is pro or anti-crime. I think he's pro-Trump. Trump is pro-Trump. He will gladly excuse any criminals that are loyal to him or do things in his name or whatever it may be, while going after people he doesn't like, immigrants, things like that, or liberals or left wingers, whatever. Okay. So I think it's kind of a bad framing because yeah, you can definitely come up with people that have criminals that Trump has gone after, but they're only people that he doesn't like and such. He's not fair about it.
Now, I'm reminded of what's his name from Chicago?
Al Capone.
Al Capone. Thank you. He paid a lot of people.
By the way, for those who don't know, Al Capone was a mobster in Chicago during the 1920s or something,
and into the 30s. I believe.
Yes. Go ahead, Dan.
Say he paid a lot of people for them not to get in his way, including police, and not just rank and file police, but some even up that were, had more authority. And so as a result, they remain loyal to him. I mean, that's what this sounds like. Okay, you marched on the Capitol, you committed crimes. I mean, just the crime itself of trying to disrupt the meeting of Congress is a crime. But on the other hand, it's like, go up and do this, and this is my payment to you. I'm going to give you get out a jail free card, whatever you did, so you will always be loyal to me.
Yep. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me with Hitler, when Hitler was in jail, and then he got off. They got found guilty, but they gave him a very light sentence, and Lord Scourge just let him off. Anyway, so yeah, it's crazy. We'll continue.
Right now in the LA protests, if they were to, just for example, they were to rush the capital of LA, I mean, they'd have to move over all the homeless people living in tents on the steps of the Capitol. But if they were managed to get into the Capitol,
It's not the capital of California.
No, of course he doesn't. I mean,
The capital of what?
yeah,
Okay,
no,
I'm sorry.
no, yeah, he doesn't.
and they were just protesting, peacefully. Let's say police officers were rushing them
Yeah.
in. They were letting them in and saying, "Hey, you guys can go in," like we have many testimonies that say.
What about
And
the
then-
violent ones, though?
Okay, violent ones like
Like
what?
a man named David Dempsey, a judge, a Reagan-appointed judge, sentenced him to 20 years in prison. He stomped on police officers' heads. The judge said his conduct was exceptionally egregious. He attacked police officers with flagpoles and pepper spray. Donald Trump pardoned him. There's a man named Daniel Rodriguez. He got 12 years in prison for taking a stun gun and tasing a police officer in the neck and giving him a heart attack. The judge said he was a one-man army of hate. Donald Trump pardoned him. Does that not make Trump pro-criminal? He's letting
I would
violent criminals out of prison.
I would say no, it doesn't make him pro-criminal.
You're okay with that?
I did not say that. I said that one pardon against somebody.
It was 1,600 pardons. 600 of those were
Yes,
people
one against
charged
one
with...
example that you just gave me.
I can give you more. Just should I keep going?
Fine.
Shane
And I'll say the
Jenkins.
By the way, it is not a good way to win a debate to tell your opponent, fine, give me all the examples that prove your point. That's more than just the one you gave me, okay? It's like he's setting himself up for failure, and he
I
is.
mean, he's trying to make a point, which is stupid.
Mhm.
And, you say, oh, that one. Have you been listening, guys?
Well, Dad, they were just tourists that were at.
Oh,
Yeah, they were just tourists. That's what early,
looking for a place to take a shit.
Yeah, right, exactly. The early.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. You do. It's fine. Early right wing news agencies are reporting. Oh, they were just a group of tourists that were at the Capitol. Yeah, no. Okay. Anyway.
exact same thing every single
Then
time.
your argument will fall apart because it's
Okay,
not just
go
one
for
example
it,
if I
go
keep
for it.
going.
Go for it then.
Okay, Shane Jenkins got 7 years in prison for 9 criminal offenses, attacking police with a deadly weapon, destroying
How
government property.
How do
Trump pardoned
pardons
him.
that probably shouldn't have happened turn into pro-crime?
So you've agreed that they shouldn't have been pardoned?
Sure, but that wasn't your claim. Was January 6th? Your claim was Trump is pro-crime.
Yeah, because he pardons criminals.
Okay, I
He
would say
pardoned
that's a fault.
Let's talk about non-January 6 people.
Okay.
He's pardoned people like Paul Walchuk recently, who took millions of dollars from his own employees, was sentenced to tax crimes, had to pay back $4 million. Trump pardoned him. He bought himself a
By the way, he also pardoned. So he's pardoned a lot of his friends of financial crimes and things like that, including Steve Bannon, who actually defrauded his own MAGA base. Steve Bannon created this organization of some sort and got people to donate to it, claiming it would go to the support of MAGA.
Is it building the wall or something?
Yes, that's right. It would
Okay.
go to building the wall. We're going to build the wall. Okay, and he just pocketed the money, so he got put in jail for that, and Trump pardoned him. And he's still a big figure in MAGA, even though he completely defrauded MAGA.
$2 million yacht. Why is he pardoning criminals like that?
Well, I don't know. I don't think you should. I don't think really presidential pardon should be a thing at all. But I
agree.
I don't think that.
All right, pause.
That means something.
What do you think about that, Dad? Do you think presidential pardon should be a thing?
Well, I can understand why the founding people put it into the Constitution. And
Why?
well, this was the first attempt at doing something like this. And whereas the king and parliament abused their power and there was no way out by some of the colonists who were being arrested, thrown into jail without trial, and in some cases taken back to England for trial, there was no recourse, whereas a president could step in. I mean, that's what I was seeing. It's more of a reaction from the colonists. I mean, if you look at our Bill of Rights, it's all reactions to what Britain did to us.
Right.
And so I can understand it back then, but I don't think the founding people, founding fathers, had any idea that somebody like this would come along or like him and start pardoning criminals.
Well, to be fair, I do slightly disagree. I don't think president should have a pardon power.
Well, I don't think so either. I'm
yeah.
just saying I understand why they put it in originally.
No, I know. I was just saying because Biden also pardoned his son, and Nixon was pardoned by Ford, which I also thought was a horrible mistake. I think it's bad. I don't think presidents should be able to pardon. So I actually agree with him. I think that it should be left up to the judicial branch whether they decide to, if someone, or left up to, courts, and the president shouldn't be getting involved in that nonsense. So that's my opinion there. Here we go.
You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Thanks.
People voted you out.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Mehdi.
They don't even believe in
Mehdi.
You're from northern UK, I guess?
I'm from London, North London.
Okay, fair enough. What's your ethnic background, if you don't mind my asking?
My parents are from India.
Okay, perfect. Just getting the premise here. First of all, I want to say
The premise of Donald Trump being pro-crime.
No. I want to concern.
Okay, what was that about? Why did he go in there and immediately ask? I mean, we all know what it's about.
Well, I mean, I can't read his mind, but we can assume.
Yeah, well, guess we'll find out, right? It's rather shocking.
And I'll be blunt. Retired history teacher. One of the subjects I taught was world history and culture, and so I had a habit when I would meet somebody different here in the U.S. And when I say different, I mean in terms of cultural or something. I would ask them. I explained to them I was a teacher, and I would teach history and culture of the world. And I just got to ask, what culture are you? Is a part of you? And they were more than happy to tell me, and we talk about it a little bit. And I was doing it out of curiosity because our country is made up of so many different people from so many different lands. I mean, my grandmother was from Germany. She had her German accent to the day she died. She came over right after World War I. She married an American soldier who went over there and fought, who happened to be my grandfather, who happened to also be an immigrant. He was from Sicily, came over here before the war, joined up when the U.S. got involved and went back, and then part of the occupation force, and met my grandmother. So, I've always been interested in cultures, but yeah, there's something suspicious when somebody asks that.
Yeah, especially when it's like the first thing you ask right when you walk up, what's your ethnic background? It's almost like, let me see your papers, sort of a deal. We can assume also just by the look of the guy, you can kind of get, I know I'm stereotyping, but we'll see what he says.
Myself with why you care about what's happening in the U.S., first and foremost. Secondly, I want to say this.
Should people who live in the U.S.
So how do you feel about that? Why do you care what's happening in the U.S.? Mehdi Hassan is a citizen, first of all.
Yeah,
so...
he is a citizen, so that's probably number one why he cares. Number two,
even if he wasn't, yeah.
Yep. Number two is the fact that a lot of people in the U.S. believe that we are the light on the hill. We are the way for the world. That Americans are all about democracy, all about rights and liberties, and the world should follow us. We should be a world leader. I mean,
even if it's not true.
Under Teddy Roosevelt, they were saying we should be the world policeman because of our morals and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he's asking this, Donald Trump wants to make the United States the leader. Everybody must listen to him.
No, I would disagree. I think Donald Trump wants to make Donald Trump the leader, not the United States.
Well,
yeah, I see what you mean.
The United States.
Yeah.
And he wants people to listen to him and do what he wants. Well, that affects the entire world. I mean, he's already done some stuff that affected the entire world. I don't care where you're from. It's affected the entire world. And to be blunt, people like him, the guy, whoever is in that green shirt, is probably one of those that wants us to be a world leader. I'll bet you, because a lot of conservatives would like to see that. And, it's to ask him, then why do you care? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. I mean, I don't care, once again, where you live. When Trump cut off the at one time cut off the supplies to Ukraine. It mattered greatly, greatly mattered.
Mm-hmm.
And I could mention probably 100 things,
Mm-hmm.
but it does matter. It doesn't. I don't care whether you're a U.S. citizen or not. It will affect you
Mm-hmm.
if we believe we are in that role.
And if we, act on it and bomb other countries and other things like that, and sort of the people whose bombs are falling on their heads are very interested in what's going on here because,
Right.
yeah, or the aid we just cut off the U.S. aid organization. Now it'll result in tons of people dying. That because Trump just cut it off.
Yes.
So.
Not care about.
Let's not interrupt each other because I have this thing. Like people know, I have this thing. I have to stay calm. Okay, so here's the thing. I am happy that he released J6. In fact, so much so that I was prepared to protest if he didn't.
Okay.
So when you say, "Are you okay that he's pro-crime?" Sure, because you know what? We're changing the definition of what crime is. First and
You
foremost.
don't think stomping on police officers' heads is a crime?
I don't think it's no longer a relevant conversation anymore. You're
Really?
arguing. No, it's not because you know what? Okay, have you seen the U.S. in the last 4 or 5 years?
Yes, I've
BLM
lived
protests.
there for a
Have you
while.
seen? Okay, I myself have been involved in these protests. I've seen egregious things that you couldn't even imagine.
So we have no rules then?
Oh, that big man, right? He's seen egregious things.
Yeah, I'd like to know what he's seen. And this is something else I want to say. The United States was born out of protest, or I should say conceived out of protest, protesting against the king. And some of it was a bit violent. I mean, we're talking the 1700s people.
And if you're interested, look up tarring and feathering.
Yes. And also to burning King George
Effigies.
I mean, so imagine somebody today trying that with Trump. Anyway, so, and I could go through over and over again where the U.S., the people in the U.S., or some of the people in the U.S. rose up against what was going on in this country. The problem is there are people who call that, oh, that's woke. You shouldn't tell people that. Well, it matters. It obviously matters because this guy is clueless. Oh, have you seen it in the last 4 years? Well, what I want to ask him, have you seen it in the last 100 years?
Yeah. It's also ironic because we have seen it the last few years, and his side has done all kinds of damage. Okay. So, So, and by the way, like the January 6th uprising, insurrection, whatever you want to call it, was not like a democratic revolution, like a revolt, right? It was an authoritarian one that they were trying to subvert the will of the people. So,
Conservatives, it's not about that. It's about tribal warfare. Okay. That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the U.K. You're from India.
Oh, wait. Well, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, we got to hear that last part. You don't care about you from India?
Yeah,
okay.
so I don't really.
I'm not from India.
Oh, sorry. Your parents are from India. Yeah. So
I'm an American
you
citizen.
have your own states.
I'm an American,
You're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing.
Are you an American citizen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Not sure how you got that, but okay.
Born here.
Okay.
Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here, okay?
But you're
a little different
But you're
than
a
yours.
descendant of immigrants.
Okay, I stopped it. There is so much there. Go ahead. Sorry.
What I want to know, don't live on your ancestors' shoulders. What have you done to benefit America? I could name for you lots of people who came over in the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, whose family went off the deep end later on in history.
Well, not to mention those early settlers slaughtered Native Americans. Okay, a lot of them brought slaves with them, started the slave trade.
Yeah,
and by the way, they weren't even American; they were British, and they had no loyalty to the United States because it didn't exist yet.
Well, they were also Dutch.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I know.
English.
But I'm just saying, like, if we
and also too, now that my son said that, it's like, okay, so your ancestors came over, and way back then, those are the ancestors and that cleared the land to farm it and to live here and to create their own government. And in order to get that land, they slaughtered the first people. That's what Native Americans, a lot of them call themselves. And I mean, when I say Native Americans, I mean the indigenous, not him. And, we slaughtered them to do this. So probably his ancestors were involved. Heck, if his ancestors came over that early, we had the witch trials over here. Nobody was burned at the stake, but a lot were hung, or a fair number were hung. And I could go
Or crushed
on.
to death by rocks.
Yeah,
So.
I could go on and on and on. So, don't sit on your laurels of what happened in the past. Don't go, oh, my daddy, my granddaddy. What about you?
I also should point out that the vast majority of people we would call white immigrated over here during the 1920s and late 19th century. They coming from Europe and such, like the vast majority of people. So if he says I'm a true American because my family got here 1500 or whatever the heck he said, that would mean that there are probably two real Americans in the country. I'm exaggerating, but you see what I mean.
Well, my question is, going back to my heritage, on my mom's side, once again, it was my Sicilian grandfather and my German grandmother. I'm the second generation born in the U.S. Does that make me less interested in my country than this guy? Does it make me less being able to do things for my country? Does that mean I should not receive as many benefits in my country because even though I'm a U.S. citizen, I'm second generation born here? But on the other hand, and this question I want to also ask is on my dad's side, I've traced it all the way back to the 1600s so far.
Yeah.
Now, my mom, we should dismiss a lot of her and that side of my family because her parents were immigrants. But my dad's side, I'm like this guy. Well, I got a lot invested. So do we do the math and we split it? No, we're all Americans.
And
I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
I get really upset.
You're completely right. And by the way, a lot of well, you know what? I'll hold off on that commentary. We'll see where he goes next with this. But he's a POS, if you all know what I mean. Anyway, okay, here we go.
Settlers.
I didn't know.
Colonialists.
Yeah,
You
colonials.
don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites
not.
are Native Americans. What are
Sorry.
you talking about?
You're not.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't even know where to start. I just paused it automatically. Yeah, that's delusional. So most of you probably know this, but Native Americans, First Nations peoples, whatever, there's various names that they go by, were the first human beings in North and South America. They came across something called the Bering Land Bridge, which was basically some ice that was between Russia and Alaska, and they came down into North and South America. Go ahead.
And I want to inject here a lot more research and discoveries that happened that has actually expanded that whole theory and about these ice bridge, that it may not have been just the ice bridge, but still it was from Asia.
Yeah. So they were the indigenous people. They were the first ones here. Okay. I am Native American. Well, no. See, the thing is that he seems to think that you have to be, if you're not Native American. I don't know. It seems like he's unsure of whether he's actually a real American. That he has to be a native for it to be real.
Well, maybe he should say I'm native born here, because you know what native means? Born.
Mm-hmm.
So I was born here.
Mm-hmm.
He was born here. To say Native American is, to me, stepping on the people who lived here before we all came over. And it's a lot of, they still live here.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It just bothers me that when people say that, and he's also implying that Mehdi, because he wasn't born here, he's not a Native American.
Yeah, it's insane. It's in the Constitution, by the way. If you're born in the United States, you're an American citizen. Yeah. And we have a civic idea of citizenship. That is, if you conform to the ideas in the Constitution, you can be a citizen. It doesn't matter if you are what this color of your skin is, where you came from, nothing like that, as long as you know. So anyway, let's continue. By the way, Trump is trying to get rid of all that.
Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
What was
you're-
happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent, but what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from
Asia. Do you know what
Asia.
indigenous means?
Listen, before
Indigenous
America,
people
Are
can't
you
come
gonna let
from
me
somewhere
finish?
else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It
Doesn't
means
sound
they
like it.
came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay, just checking.
My point is, okay?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these
Because
people are
you're
criminals.
derailing, dude. I'm trying
You
to stay on
literally
track.
sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you derailed this conversation from the get-go.
by that, but I'm because
I'm not
I'm always
offended. I'm
curious.
just wondering what it
Because
has to do with
I'm
crime.
always curious.
We're going to talk about
why-
immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime
I just
and
got a
pro-criminal.
round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So-
You know, it's always funny when these lunatics say like you're getting emotional. Do you remember like what a few minutes ago he had been like, don't interrupt me. Oh, something I don't like. I can't handle it. Oh, like who's the emotional one here, right? Like he doesn't even okay.
Also, the applause thing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. That
you're
doesn't
right.
mean diddly squat to me. Hitler in the 1920s, when he was giving speeches in beer halls in Germany, Brauhauses, he'd get up and do this, and people would applaud him, stand up, thought he was wonderful. When he became the dictator of Germany, he'd have these huge rallies. People would applaud him and salute him. And so I guess going by what he is saying, this guy, that was probably a good thing back then. Because look at all these people applauding me.
Yes,
Or,
applause.
jawohl!
Yeah, applause does not mean you're right morally or factually, right? It's just, and plus you're in a room full of people that already support you. So, yeah, I guess he needs a win. So,
Wow.
So I don't think I'm
Is this
doing
how
as
you
bad.
get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing. That
Well,
must
wait
make you
till
feel
this comes
good.
out. You know what? I'm
20
actually
people
glad
agree
you're
with
getting
you,
this
applauded you.
emotionally outraged right
Wow.
now. This is great.
I love it.
Do I have to say anything at this point, or are you just going
Please.
to keep going?
No, please.
Okay.
Make your claim.
Well, my claim is that I don't care if it's pro-crime. You want to go back to the topic of conversation?
that's fine. We agree then. He's pro-crime
But
and you
I have
don't
a
care.
question for you, though. Do you care on the opposite side of the spectrum?
Yes.
Do you care about law being administered
Yes.
to the opposite side of the
Yes.
spectrum?
I think
when they're
anyone
doing
who
the same?
assaults a police officer shouldn't be pardoned. I think that Donald Trump shouldn't have pardoned 9 Republican members of Congress who were convicted of crimes, and I don't think Joe
I don't
Biden should
think
commit.
you- I don't
I don't
think
think
you
Democrats should
understand-
pardon Democrats.
Fair, but I don't
We
think
both
you
agree?
understand where we are in the U.S. then.
I think I do.
No, because you're
I think I do
arguing
this for
from
a
a
living.
position of like a U.S. that doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
We're headed towards
so
tribal-
nihilism, no laws, nothing matters.
It's not about
everyone's pro-crime.
It's not about that. It's that
That's
conservatives
convenient.
conservatives for too long have been playing it safe. They've been playing by the
Really?
law. They've been playing
been
it by the
playing by
book.
the law?
Yes, they have.
Maybe
We're
you
so-
missed.
okay, that is just pure bullshit. All right, we conservatives have been breaking the law. George W. Bush broke the law. Nixon broke the law. Donald Trump has broken the law, and they say they've been playing it safe. No, they haven't. They've been playing it safe at all, and he's implying that the Democrats are like liberals or whatever, are somehow this strong force that they've taken the gloves off or whatever. The opposite. Oh, sorry. I'll let you. The opposite is true. Actually, okay. The Democratic Party has unfortunately been relatively weak and allowed the Republicans to trample all over everything. This is partially because of political corruption. Both parties are paid tons of campaign contributions from big corporations and the wealthy and such, so they don't want to cause much of a stir. It's more complicated than that, but it's hilarious that he thinks that it's hilarious that he thinks that it's the liberals that took their gloves off or whatever. It was definitely the Republicans, and then the liberals, the Democrats just haven't done much about it.
During the Enlightenment, prior to the American Revolution, there were a lot of people called philosophes who talked about what rights and liberties, and those are two different things there, that people should have. And people who followed these philosophes, I could list a whole bunch with you, but you'd go, is that they were considered liberals.
It's literally where the word comes from. Liberal comes from liberty.
Yes, and the king of France, because there are a lot of philosophers from there, and they were being threatened by the king to be thrown in jail for being liberal. There were that Enlightenment came over here, and those that embraced the Enlightenment were also considered liberal. The King of England accused a lot of these colonists over here as being liberal. I am your king, and you don't question me. They did question him. And as a matter of fact, they're the ones that not only wrote the Declaration of Independence, some of the same people and some new ones came along and helped write the Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights. And to say that, make the statement that, liberal, you don't care about crime, that is absolutely ridiculous.
It also is. It's a very confusing term because it has a different usage in Europe modern day, and it doesn't really mean it's very complicated. But yeah, did he even use the word liberal? I don't even know. But it was just I know I said liberal, but we'll see what he continues to say here.
The Bush presidency. Did you live here during the Bush years?
Conservatives are
Didn't
so
play by
concerned.
the law, George W.
Let me
Bush. Nor did
finish.
Ronald Reagan.
Let's be respectful to you.
By the way, on a side note here, I'm sorry, I wanted to add one other thing. Yeah, the Republican presidents broke the laws many times. I got to admit, though, Democrats broke the law too. Obama assassinated a U.S. citizen overseas without due process. There's other things that have happened too. But anyway, it's not. Those have that sort of thing has been happening for a while, but it was definitely the conservatives that sort of took it to the next level. Okay.
Let me finish.
I'm not sure you've been that respectful, but okay.
I'm trying to bring it back, so let's both bring it back,
Let's
okay?
do it.
I'm conservative, okay?
Really?
Let me tell you this. We do play it too safe. We've been playing it by the book for too long. Okay. At this point, gloves are off, right? The left has made their point. They're willing to do...
The police force in Washington, the left?
Yes! Are you kidding me? The left? Are you insane?
Police officers.
Look at LA right here. You think those stand down?
You think the LAPD are a bunch of liberal Marxists?
No, but I think they listen to liberal Marxists who tell them what to do.
Okay.
I think they listen to who.
By the way, whenever I hear this, I just want to laugh. There are basically zero viable Marxist parties in the United States. There are some very small number. There are Democratic Socialists, which are a growing group. But there's not to say this is Marxism, this is communism, blah 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 blah. No, it isn't. Okay, there are far more fascist and very far right groups and people than there are communist groups. There are socialists, but for those who don't know, that's different. But regardless,
yeah, in our country, for some reason or other, when somebody says I'm a socialist, immediately somebody will scream, "Oh, you're a communist." No, that doesn't necessarily, one does not equal the other. As a matter of fact, socialism, the first true mention of socialism was written in a book called, Utopia, back in, the 1500s?
Yeah, a long time ago.
By Saint...
I don't remember.
He's not a saint in the Catholic Church. And he wrote the book.
More.
Yes, Sir Thomas More. And he basically wrote about an ideal society in which everybody helps everybody else, shares everything they have with everybody else. And he wrote it with, those of you that are Christian, the Gospels in mind. And I want to say Gospels, what Jesus taught, not what's in the Old Testament, not what's in the epistles, but what Jesus taught right out of his mouth. And he was called a utopian socialist. And back then, it wasn't one of those things of, oh, must be a communist. That word wasn't even used. Matter of fact, in the during the Middle Ages, the convents and the monasteries were socialist. But it's socialist from the point of view of Christianity, what Jesus taught, not what we think he taught, not what we hoped he would have taught, but what he taught. And so there you go.
Yeah. And I know he didn't mention socialism or communism, but he said Marxism, Marxist liberals or something like that. Marxism, by the way, has a whole bunch of different variations on it. It's also an academic way of looking at things. It can be sort of an unpolitical thing. I mean, it typically is, but it's also, you can do something called class analysis in various social studies fields where you analyze things from a class perspective. And that's Marxism, but that's not. So anyway, they don't know the difference between these terms, regardless of like anything else. A lot of these folks have no idea what these things are. And they just use them because they're scary because of the Cold War.
The term communism is a term that's presently used today to encompass everything.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, Marx is a communist, and he did mention communism, but that's just one form of communism or socialism. There's also Maoism. There's also Leninism. There's also Stalinism, and I could go on and on.
There's also democratic socialism.
Yeah, and it all falls under this huge umbrella. But unfortunately, in our country, which is why I mentioned him, as soon as you mention socialist or socialism, people think communism. That's like, oh, look at the kitty over there. That's not a kitty. That's a lion. No, it's a kitty. Anyway, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Signs their paychecks at the end
Can
of
I
the
just
day.
check, because you're doing lots of little diversions. We both agree Donald Trump's pro-crime. You're just fine with it.
No,
Is that the position?
I don't.
That's what you
agree
said
with
so
your-
far
I
for
don't
about
agree with your
5 minutes.
I don't agree with your definition.
What's
of
your
crime.
definition of crime?
It doesn't
Stomping
matter.
on a police officer's head
No,
is not
what-
a crime.
No,
That's your
what I'm
definition
saying-
of crime as the
He keeps getting
Native
me out of-
American.
I am Native American.
If you say so.
So going back to the topic at hand, we have
He's getting so emotional. Jeez, what's wrong? Why? Gosh, he's so emotional.
different definitions of crime because you're
That's
talking
convenient. There's
It's
a
not
criminal
about-
code
it's
in
not
this
about
country.
what's
It's called the
convenient.
U.S. Criminal Code.
You know what? Let's focus
That's
on
what
what we
everyone
agree on.
focuses
I'm
on.
sure you and I actually agree on a lot
Do we
more than
agree
you
that
realize.
people shouldn't stomp on police officers' heads? Can we agree on that? If
I'm
you don't
not-
agree on that, then I really think this conversation is kind of
No,
pointless.
because first of all, you're saying what? That the police have the authority, that they're given the authority. I don't accept the authority that's been
it's a
given by
very
liberal
conservative
Mark.
position.
I
Or the conservative are pro-police.
Then you
Or
don't
we
know what a
redefine-
real. Hey, listen,
So
you're
we
in a room
redefine
with
crime.
juggernauts right now.
We
Okay?
redefine
I'm telling you right now,
conservatives.
you are going to be blown
I
open
mean,
if you think
yeah,
that my
if we're going to
position
struggle
is
with the
hard,
English
right?
language
You
for the
have
next
no
couple
idea
hours, then yeah,
what you're
we'll
up
struggle.
against right now. Okay,
100%.
Yeah. Newsflash: the conservatives are liberal to me. Okay, neocons, libertarians, all those mainstream people, they might as well be leftists to me. Okay, that's how far to the right I am. Do you understand my position? So when
I
you
kinda
say,
guessed it when you sat down.
say, about obeying police. Why would I give the authority to police? Do you know
think-
here in America?
Do you think Donald Trump should
you're
be
in America?
pardoning 9 members of Congress
Do you
who
know
committed
who-
financial crimes?
Let
Are
me
you
see if I can remember
Are
his
you
name
pro
right, because
financial
it's so-
crime?
Do you
Are
know
you pro
Thomas-
financial crime?
Do you know
All
who
right,
Thomas
pause.
Timbo is?
Pause.
Okay, we'll stop there for now for this video. Do you want to add anything else, Ted, to that last part there?
Yes, I'm trying to get my heart to slow down.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Those of you who said the first and the other time, which was the first time, hope your dad took his medication.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I did, and I'm still having to pause.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, I guess so thank you everyone for watching. Please like or subscribe. I've also now set up a membership option for people. I'll put the link in the video description. You can sign up for 99 cents a month if you'd like. It'd help fund my dad and I for us doing this. So thank you very much. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.